What's up? I'm Karl G Richter, and today I'm gonna record myself doing a little bit of work. I'm gonna show you how I can set up some slides. I'm gonna show you some of my favorite tricks in PowerPoint. You may hate PowerPoint, and hey, you know what? I don't blame you one bit. I like to joke that same as guns. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. PowerPoint doesn't make a bad presentation, people do. It's like blaming a typewriter for a bad book. There's a lot of PowerPoint crimes against humanity here, but that's not PowerPoint's fault. It's still a very good tool. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and launch a PowerPoint. I'm going to move myself over down here in the corner. Looks like Office has a new look. I'm going to say, show me, customize, okay. Office themes, okay. Collaborate, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add my first slide in. I've got this presentation set up here. It looks like I have an old one too that I don't need. Let me go ahead and go full screen on this. So what I'm trying to do for my new online show, it's Monday Fun Day. I stream live on 8:30 on a Monday morning, which may turn out to be a bad idea, but I wanted to do this as a way to kind of spread some joy, share what I like about our craft with other people, and kind of get the week going right. So there's a couple different things that I'm going to do here. One, I'm really trying to paint a picture and show like, hey, this is what somebody could be doing in an office. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to go into pictures, and I'm going to go to online pictures, and I'm just going to type in office. I mean office like a place where you work, not office like the software that I'm using. And I'll say, okay, I want to go ahead and pick, let's go ahead and pick this one. So this newer version of Office is very cool. It's got a lot of different things that you can do with it. I'm going to go ahead and scroll it here so that it's nice and big. And then I'm going to go ahead and go here into the articulate characters, and I'm going to insert a stressed out manager. So for this week's show, what I'm going to try and do is to sort of say, hey, here's a manager who's having a problem. It's loading a little bit slowly here because the articulate PowerPoint plugin, while powerful, it does have a couple different issues. So now I've got these different characters. If you've worked with Storyline, you have those. If you see them here in PowerPoint as well. I'm going to do some with illustrated characters. There's quite a number of them that I want to go through and pick. I'm not sure who I'm going to use here. I want somebody who looks like a manager who might be worried about stuff. Let's go ahead and pick you. Well, Sylvie. Let's give you a whirl here. So I can go through Sylvie, and I can actually go through and pick which pose she's doing. I'm going to have her here. So I'm going to go ahead. I think that when the characters are a little bit bigger like this, it looks nice. I want to go ahead and put my attribution in here. Align it to the left. Since I've made my picture so big, it's tough to know exactly where she's going to be. And so I'm going to go ahead and make her a couple times so that I can actually just go through, and then now I can actually edit this character and we can have her talk, so that as I'm building slides, it actually looks more like an animation, so that as this loads up here in PowerPoint, oh boy, this is really slow. So I probably won't have her do a whole bunch of these here. We'll have her put her fingers by her mouth and look a little stressed. So this is a tip that I like to do here. I'm going to go ahead and turn these guides on. So the guides allow me to go ahead and say, okay, here's her picture. You see when she's got her hand like that, one hand on her hip, and then here she's a little more narrow. So articulate doesn't really know what to do. So the guides are a good tip for going back and forth. So I'm going to have her just sort of say, hey, you know, I'm a manager. I'm going to make one more slide here so that we can kind of, as we go through the slides, when I do my session on Monday, I want to sort of say, hey, how would we help this character? So I'm going to give this person an actual issue. So we'll go in here and we'll go ahead and we will edit her. Rolling, rolling, rolling. So this one takes a little bit. If you're more familiar with Storyline, yeah, Storyline's a little bit faster. It looks like this plugin while I'm streaming is going and loading a little bit slower than I like. And I'll stop talking about it now. So I'm going to have her do her arms crossed, and now I'm going to have her do this thinking phase, okay? So part of what I'm trying to do here is to tell a story. So I've got this little character here, I've got her lined up, and she's going to be a manager. So now I'm going to do a couple different effects. I like the characters here. I also like going into my picture effects, and you've got a few different ones here. Artistic effects is what I meant to try. And then there's this blur effect down here. So I do the blur. I'm going to do it on all of them. I meant to do that blur beforehand so I don't have to do it 3 times. But I think this is a real nice look. If you're ever struggling to have your slides look like they're not so PowerPointy or to do that, I find that the combination of characters with a blurred out background, it's kind of telling you, hey, the important stuff isn't on the background, it's what this character is saying. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to go to my shapes and I'm going to get a call out and I'm going to go here. So now I can have her. One of the tricks that I like to do is to actually go through. I'm going to give this a black outline and then I'm going to use this eyedropper tool so that I'm pulling something directly from her head. We have so many courses. And I'll explain what my storyline is here in just a second, what the story that I'm going to tell. This is really just a prompt to help people during my session on Monday. Going to have them sort of like think through what they would do. I'm all about solutions. The world is full of problems and I find joy in finding solutions for them. So we've got this. And I'm going to go ahead and just put one little animation on it so that it fades in. Okay. So I'm going to have this person say, my boss told me that we need to do a better job of promoting the courses that we have in our LMS. We have so many courses and it's kind of overwhelming for our learners. They never seem to find it's hard for them to find the course that apply to their role and their needs. So what I'm trying to do is to share a sort of common problem, and then I'm going to go into a tool. I've already got an answer picked out, but one of the exercises that I want to do is to go through and to say, okay, how would you actually find what solution could you do? How can I quickly provide a customized answer for all these different types of learners? I'm going to make one more slide. We have a course catalog filled with descriptions, but it's a little, well, it's a lot of work to find the right. Okay, so this is a problem that I've seen a lot. I make e-learning courses. If there's hundreds of different courses up there, it's tough for someone to find a customized reason or a customized answer or response for what it is based on their role and their needs. So I've actually built a prototype of something like this in a chatbot. I'm going to have another link to the video of me showing how to actually build it in the chatbot. But I thought it would be kind of fun just as I prep to go ahead and make a video and sort of share some of the things here. So to recap, if you want to build a story that has slides in them, you can go in, you can search for any kind of a picture, depending where you're going to have them work. I think it's great to go in and do the artistic effect, make it just a little bit blurry, and then put a character in there who's talking and sort of setting the stage so that it feels like a story that's bringing you in. There's a person who has a problem. So my solution is going to be, what can we do to help this training manager? So now I can go through, I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to put it in the back, and I'll do this. So one of the things I see a lot of people doing is white text, white text, make it bold, and maybe a little bigger. And I'm going to give this shape a fill, and I'm going to go ahead and do that fill, format it, and give it a little bit of a transparency. Now I can't remember for sure where this guy is, so I'm going to hide it. What can we do? So the idea is that what I really want to do is to turn these guides off so that we don't need those anymore. So now when I do not now. So when I do my slideshow, it's not being streamed on the other window here. So I'm going to just rely on the fact that you are a smart person with a good imagination, and we're going to say, okay, my boss told me we need to do a better job of promoting the courses. So many, it's overwhelming. And how can I quickly provide? That's a question, so I'll make it a question. And then we have a course catalog filled with descriptions. So this one, when she's asking a question, I don't think that's actually the right format for her. So I'm going to go ahead and edit her one last time. So this, I'm going to show you something while that loads. I have a whole folder full of who I call friends. So one of the tips that I like to do, I don't work with the illustrated characters a lot, but I do a lot with the different pictures. I do use Dropbox and OneDrive, and some of these are not actually stored on my local machine, so they have a little X next to them. But I save those pictures and I use them in Camtasia, I use them in Rise, I put them in all kinds of graphics. So yeah, that's kind of a face that says asking. So I do need to flip my guides back on again here so that I can line her up. Right, I tend to do like right through the middle of right through the middle of the nose, so that I know that as we go through this, it doesn't look like she's jumping around too much. And it looks like I could probably make her a little more level. So if I wanted to do that, this tip here with the guides, can put that right at the top of her head, and then I go back and anything This is just sort of detail stuff that you can do. It doesn't necessarily ruin your presentation, but I like it when the characters look natural. And there we go. Okay. So really, if you're a fan of the Michael Allen, I'm giving somebody a challenge. I'm giving them a context. This is a training manager. We tell a little bit of a story. And here we go. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put one here. What tools and tricks do you recommend for a solution to this problem? Okay. So now I've got a quick little exercise here where I'm painting a picture, and rather than me describing it in the time it took me to do this video, now I've got a nice little asset here that we can use for this character, and it's going to transport them into the world where we feel this person's pain, and we're going to go and try and solve it. So this is a nice conversation prompt. For me, again, I'm going to go ahead and talk about LandBot. And join me on Mondays. Come back to my YouTube channel and look for the archive of the event. And have a great day.